Cat, why are you laying like this? What are you doing? If you flip this way, you can stay on my lap. Oh, no, you want to get down? Alright. Alright, now I got cat hair all over me. That's great. Hello. I'm here again. What are you doing? Let's try recording again. Let's stop. Cat left. Hello. I'm back with another video. It's Call in the Basement. It's going to be another video log type video. I'm still hoping to do a daily type of video log. I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to do it weekly or if it's going to be daily. I might run out of ideas or random things to talk about if I do daily. There's only so many things we can say on a daily basis, I suppose, without beginning to repeat ourselves, which I don't really want to do. So today I'd like to discuss the idea of coercion. Now this may be controversial because it does have relation to the current medical, scientific, political spectrum of knowledge, whatever you want to refer to it as. And as much as I'd like to not discuss controversial topics and or political topics, it's somewhat difficult as of lately to avoid certain things such as this. So as you can see, Mr. Kitty, Mr. Little Dude, as I like to call him, is preoccupied with listening to what's at the door at the moment and not sitting on my lap. So he's going to be kind of skipping out on this video. Now, back to coercion. So I think the biggest thing that I want to really say about it is, regardless of your perspective and regardless of the ideas that you have, the knowledge that you have, and regardless of the opinion that you want to have, that you want to share and that you want others to share, right? Making someone out to be a bad guy, whether it's making them feel stupid or the other way around, making them feel like some evil villain or like a pansy or something like that, like someone who, coercing someone or aggressively trying to change their opinion is just, it doesn't work from either side. If you want someone to view things from your perspective, treating them with respect and treating their opinions and their minds with respect, is the only real way you're going to get across. And I think that this polarization of different people's perspectives on controversial and difficult to discuss topics, when I don't believe they should be difficult, science specifically, politics, science, medicine, these are all open topics that should be up for discussion, right? And regardless of whether or not someone's opinion is valid, regardless of whether or not you agree with someone's opinion, invalidating it and belittling them is not the proper way of getting your viewpoints across, and just creates more disdain from the other person's perspective, right? So I believe that there should be a push for more civilized discussion. Now, I know if anyone watches this, there'll be a million different people saying that I'm wrong and can you talk to this type of person? How can you talk to this type of person? Well, it's pretty easy. You calm down, and as long as the basis of information that you provide is factual information, or not even factual, it's compelling enough, let's say, because what is and what is not a fact is become blurred as of late. As long as the information that you provide is compelling and you allow the other person to reach their own conclusions, that's all that you really can hope for. This idea that everyone's going to agree on every topic doesn't exist. There are always going to be differing opinions. That's the beauty of the world that we live in. And I find that less and less in my day-to-day and personal experiences, as well as my findings online, people are treating one another with less and less respect. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how intelligent you are, how many degrees you have. None of that matters. We're all not too far off from primates. We're all just these humanoids on a giant floating rock in space trying to figure things out the best way that we can. And I think that loving and respecting and communicating with others the same way that you'd like them to communicate with you is by far the best thing that we can do for each other. It's just the right thing to do, I would say. It's, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, it's the right thing to do. All right, I needed to look up a word. Basically, I was referring to intrinsic right and wrong. There, my brother, he's one of the most intelligent people that I've had the pleasure of speaking with and growing up with. He believes that there is an intrinsic good that we should all strive for. Now, that is also controversial, and there are many factors involved with his conclusion. And at first I didn't really, and this kind of ties into, once again, to what I was saying previously. He discussed it with me, and at first I didn't really agree with him. I didn't really agree with his philosophy. But after he provided me with some compelling information, I decided that that he is right. You know, there to some degree there is intrinsic good in certain aspects of life, and that we should strive for that. Strive for this intrinsic goodness, innate goodness. You know, there are certain things like, you know, as broadly as murdering another person. Obviously, you don't need to read the Bible or be a Buddhist monk to agree that murdering another human being is, a nihilist or would disagree, obviously. But that's just an empty philosophy that I don't think anyone should latch on to. But once again, it goes against rather intrinsic goodness, right? That nothing matters is it's not a good way to live in the world. It's I know, because I've been there, not believing in anything and all that kind of stuff. And you know, correct me if I'm, you know, saying something mistakenly, but that's just not a philosophy. I believe that's good for your well-being, and it leads to self-destruction, really. But anyway, moral of today's discussion is going to be that do not try to coerce others into your beliefs. The best way to go about convincing others of your opinions is to treat them with respect and to allow them to reach their own conclusions based on the information that you provide, and also to make sure that you don't there's a fine line between forcing your ideas and the knowledge or the information on another person and allowing them to reach their own conclusion. And what I mean by allowing them to reach their own conclusion is that the best way would be to ask open-ended questions that you believe you would answer in such a way, and provide them with those open-ended questions. And most people, you can help them reach the conclusions that you would like them to reach. I believe I read once that there was a man who was convincing some white supremacists on why they're not actually racist, and why, or I think it was like KKK members, why they shouldn't hate racial minority groups. And that's exactly what he was doing. He was having civilized, respectful conversations with these people, and he's managed to convince, I believe, at the time that I was reading it, 200 or 300 people at this point. Have them resign from the KKK and resign their kind of hate-driven ideology. We're all people, everybody is capable. There is one thing that is true. And I believe that every person is capable of good, and every person is capable of evil. Even the worst, most heinous people that commit the worst crimes are capable of good as well. It's been shown time and time again, and that's another conversation topic. The idea of innocent until proven guilty. The internet has become its own sort of, maybe not the internet, but specifically certain platforms that I'm not going to mention, that everyone kind of understands and agrees, have become a sort of counsel to judge others based on their own beliefs. And I don't support that either. Once again, I want to reiterate that we're all capable of good and evil. So anyway, with that being said, I hope that everyone who's watched this enjoys their day or night, whatever the case may be. I do thoroughly enjoy making these videos, so I'm just going to continue doing it, maybe just for myself. Anyway, take care, guys. Peace.